Welcome to Reddit Tea Time. Please like and subscribe. Am I the bonehead for not returning my deceased husband's wedding jewelry to his family? So, the situation is complicated, and I'm really torn about whether I'm the jerk in this situation. My husband passed away recently, and we had this beautiful wedding jewelry set that was gifted to me by him. Now his family is pressuring me to give it back, but it's not as simple as it sounds. First off, the jewelry wasn't some family heirloom. It was a gift from my husband. He knew I came from a less affluent background, and he always tried to make me feel comfortable in his world. The jewelry set was a symbol of our love and commitment, not just a shiny accessory. The real issue here is the strained relationship I've had with my in-laws from the start. My husband was from a wealthy family, and they never fully accepted me because of my modest background. They were always polite, but you could sense the judgment and the subtle digs. Now my mother-in-law and sister-in-law are insisting that I return the jewelry set. They claim it holds sentimental value to the family, but I can't shake the feeling that it's more about their disdain for me than any genuine sentiment. I'm stuck in this moral dilemma. Do I honor my late husband's family wishes, or do I hold on to this piece that means so much to me? The tension has escalated to the point where they're threatening legal action, and I'm afraid I might end up losing something that means the world to me. On one hand, I want to respect my husband's memory and our relationship, but on the other, I don't want to be seen as the villain in this family drama. So Reddit, am I the bonehead for standing my ground and keeping the wedding jewelry set? Or should I just give in to my in-laws' demands and avoid making a difficult situation even worse? First edit update. I made a mistake in my story. The jewelry set was picked out and paid for by my husband, but my sister-in-law collected it for him and gave it to me. Second edit update. Thank you guys for the advice. This situation has been putting me under a lot of stress. It's even worse when trying to plan a funeral. My friends have taken some of the funeral load because of my health being at risk. I'm going to get a lawyer right after the funeral this Wednesday. Third edit update. I took you guys' advice and searched through his study to find the receipt/invoice for the set. I found it in a file in his safe. It contains all the details of the purchase, including things that I didn't even know. I took it and the set and planned to give it to one of my friends so they can't get access to it. By the way, no, my in-laws don't have any spare keys or access to our home. I have 8-foot walls around our yard, cameras, and a security system. We also have neighborhood watch chat just in case of any suspicious activity. Also, his will was read the day after his death. It stated I was the sole beneficiary of all his assets before and during our marriage. That includes our home, cars, investments, etc. I'm so sorry for your loss. It's clear there are a lot of emotions tangled up in this situation. It's heartbreaking that your husband passed away, and now you're facing this pressure from his family regarding the jewelry set he gave you. The first thing that stands out is the sentimental value attached to the jewelry. It wasn't just any piece, it was a symbol of your love and commitment. It's totally understandable that it holds immense emotional significance for you. The family dynamics seem complicated, especially considering the strained relationship you've had with your in-laws. It's hard when you feel that their request might be more about their feelings toward you than any genuine attachment to the jewelry. But threatening legal action takes things to a whole other level, and that must be incredibly stressful for you while you're dealing with the loss of your husband. It's great that you found the receipt and documentation regarding the jewelry purchase. That could potentially help in clarifying the ownership and the sentiment behind the gift. Having legal counsel to navigate this situation would be a good step forward, especially considering the threat of legal action. The will naming you as the sole beneficiary should also hold significant weight legally. However, emotions and legalities don't always align, which is why having a lawyer involved might provide you with the best guidance on how to handle this delicate situation. Am I the bonehead for going through my wife's personal belongings? My wife Rose was my best friend. We were so comfortable together. I never felt sad or unhappy or upset when she was there. I also never had butterflies when around her. I never got the sense of being in love. I thought that while I loved her, I never was in love with her like my exes. I thought I settled for her because we were best friends, and I knew she would love and cherish me. She deserved so much better. I was happy with my life, but I wanted something else. Everything she did started to annoy me, from the way she chewed to the way she laughed. One day I woke up to go to work and she was still asleep. She had a brain aneurysm and didn't wake up. It felt like my heart was ripped out of my chest. I didn't know how much I loved her until she was dead. Rose was a journaler. She would write everything down. I wondered why she had to stop and jot something down when we had places to be. I can't ask her now that she's dead. I went through her diary. I went through her phone too. A horrible small part of me wondered if she was compensating for something to show me that much love, if she felt guilty. But no, she was even more loving and generous and kind, and she loved me so much. My sister-in-law found out I went through Rose's stuff. She screamed that I had no right to go through her diary. Rose would want her privacy. I yelled that she was dead and wasn't here to say what she wanted. My sister-in-law and in-laws think it's horribly disrespectful and want me to return Rose's stuff to them. I don't want to. It's my wife and I miss her so much, and these things help me be close to her. I keep reading her diary and it feels like she is here with me. She's been dead for over a year, but it feels like she'll be back soon. Edit. She was loving and much more acutely aware of my feelings than I was of my own. I didn't feel in love because I associated love with highs and lows and toxicity. That was modeled for me. Comfort, safety, security, those weren't love as I thought of them. I didn't realize that what I had with my wife was love as it was supposed to be until it was ripped away from me. She knew how I felt, and she knew how to soothe me from all the tumultuous feelings I had. Sometimes I was looking for issues, and I had anxiety and dread of something creeping up because it was unfathomable that life was just so good with her. I'm sorry for your loss, but when I first read your story, I thought, wow, what a bonehead. The idea that you held a bit of disdain for your wife all these years just to realize you actually loved her is tragic. I only hope that she actually did know you well enough to figure out that you did love her. I realize your loss is incredibly painful, especially when you're left questioning your feelings about the relationship. It's difficult when you feel like you didn't fully appreciate or understand the depth of your love for your wife until she was gone. Sometimes we don't realize what we have until it's no longer there, and that realization can be devastating. The issue of going through her personal things, like her diary and phone, has understandably stirred up some tension with your sister-in-law and in-laws. Privacy is important, especially after someone passes away. They're probably protective of her memory and her wishes, which might not have included having her personal writings read by others. But you're not just some random person. You were her husband, the man she loved. Now that she's gone, your need to feel close to her and find solace in her belongings is also completely understandable. Grieving is a deeply personal process, and sometimes holding on to these tangible pieces of someone we've lost can bring a sense of comfort. That's clearly true for you. Your edit sheds light on the complexities of your emotions and how your understanding of love was influenced by past experiences. Recognizing the depth of love and care your wife had for you is a powerful realization, albeit in the most heartbreaking circumstances. It might be helpful to have a heartfelt conversation with your sister-in-law and in-laws, explaining your side of things. Acknowledge their feelings about privacy and respect for your wife's belongings, but also express how much these items mean to you in terms of feeling connected to her memory. Plus, they need to understand that as her husband, her things now belong to you, unless she stated otherwise. Grieving is a process, and finding ways to navigate this while honoring everyone's emotions might help bring some peace during this difficult time. Am I the bonehead for not wanting to raise my husband's child? Hello, everyone. English is not my first language, so bear with me. My 29 female husband, 31 male, passed away 6 months ago. We were together for 9 years and married for 5 years. We don't have kids because I have some complications. Before we were married, we signed a prenup, and after the marriage we had separate finances. We pay the bills and utilities, but the house is in my name, a gift from my grandparents to me. My husband had a minimum wage job, so I contributed more towards our bills. I make enough to live comfortably. My husband had a lot of debts, so his savings went towards it after his death, and I only received his clothes and shoes. Anyway, 2 months ago, a lady and a child came to my house, introducing themselves as my husband's child and the child's aunt. The child is 5. I didn't believe them initially, but they had proof to back up everything. I'm obviously devastated because my husband definitely cheated on me. The child's mom passed away a few years ago, and she lives with her aunt. My husband kept this a secret from me and has been sending them money every month, but after his death, it stopped. So the lady is asking me to pay her money to take care of the kid, or I should take her in because the lady has 6 kids of her own, and she only managed to do it with my husband sending her money. I refuse to give them money and take in the kid. I know the child is innocent, but I can't look at her without feeling betrayed and hurt, so I told them to leave me alone and never come back. The lady is threatening me, saying she would put the kid up for adoption, but I don't care because it's not my child and my husband is a cheating scumbag. My family is on my side, but my in-laws, my husband's parents, want me to raise the child, or at least send money because that's what my husband would have wanted. They're both really old, so they can't take care of a 5-year-old. I told them it's not my place to raise someone's child who is also the product of an affair. They're calling me the bonehead for being heartless and ruining a kid's life. I'm so sorry for your loss, and I can imagine this is incredibly overwhelming. Losing your husband and then finding out about a child from an affair, it's a lot to handle. The most challenging part here is the innocent child caught in the middle of this mess. It's heartbreaking for everyone involved, especially the little one. However, it's understandable that discovering this betrayal has caused immense hurt for you. The expectations and responsibilities placed on you by your husband's past actions aren't fair, and it's unthinkable for others to pressure you into taking on financial responsibility or caring for a child from your husband's affair. It's good that your family is supporting your decision, but it's a shame your in-laws are at odds with you. The expectations they have don't align with what you feel capable or willing to do, especially considering the deep betrayal you've experienced. This situation wasn't of your making, and it's not heartless to prioritize your own emotional well-being and boundaries in a situation that's incredibly painful and complex. I gently suggest that while it's not your responsibility to raise a child from your husband's affair, perhaps exploring other ways to support the child's well-being without compromising your emotional health could be an option. This could involve connecting them with social services or organizations that could provide the necessary support. Remember, you're going through a lot, and it's okay to take your time in making decisions about how to proceed. Am I the bonehead for calling my boyfriend mi amor when I'm white? My boyfriend, 18 male, and I, 18 female, have been dating for a year and a half, and it's been absolutely wonderful. It's both of our first relationships, so we're extremely lucky to have such a caring first relationship. However, there's been a little thing recently I would love some more insight on. I'm white, ginger Irish Catholic type of white, and my boyfriend is 1/4 Mexican from his grandpa on his dad's side. A couple months into our relationship, he told me that he always heard his grandpa calling his grandma mi amor por siempre, my love of forever, or simply mi amor, my love. He expressed to me that he always found it very romantic, and that he would love to call each other it. I also thought it was very sweet, so it's been a nickname we've been calling each other for the last year or so. A few days ago, I was showing a friend of mine a meme he had texted me, and she saw what I have him saved as in my phone. It's his name, mi amor. She got very upset at me and told me that I was appropriating Mexican culture. She told me that only he has the right to call me that since he's part Mexican, but since I'm white, I should refrain from it. I told her that it was Spanish, not exactly Mexican culture. She said she wouldn't talk to me until I apologized and changed the name in my phone. My boyfriend is very stressed at the moment, and I don't want to burden him with a weird drama like this. So I thought I would come here. Am I the bonehead? Additional edit. Hi everybody. First of all, I am absolutely blown away at how quickly this has gotten out of my hands. Haha, I was expecting maybe 20 people max to read this. I don't really know how to react. This is my first time going viral. Is this considered viral? And I am generally not the best with social media, so I'll try to add a few things that might clarify. Not super sure if this will be helpful. Firstly, I guess I should have explicitly said this, but the friend is white. I have really only started to get to know her the past few months, as she is in the grade below me. I'm a senior. Secondly, I've seen a lot of comments saying that this is extremely obvious, and I'd like to apologize on that. I've grown up in an extremely rural town. I can count my graduating class on my fingers, and minus a school-provided computer with most websites blocked, I never had real unlimited access to the internet until I bought my own smartphone last year. I've been trying my best to educate myself on issues like appropriation, since they are never really commonly taught where I grew up. I've grown a lot, but sometimes for things like these, I just need a little extra input. Thirdly, I've seen a lot of comments about jealousy. I heard at one point she did have a crush on my boyfriend, but that was before we started dating and she never made a move on him, so I never really took that into consideration. However, looking back on some past interactions, especially recently, something like that makes a lot of sense. She has me blocked, so I'm going to reach out to a few girls that know her and see how serious she is about this issue. If she's unwilling to drop it, I'll likely follow the advice and drop her. I don't really know how updates work. Separate post? Keep editing this one? But I seriously appreciate all the help, everyone. It can be complicated to navigate different cultural aspects, especially in relationships. The use of terms of endearment in different languages can get tricky, especially when it's tied to someone else's cultural heritage. It's awesome that you and your boyfriend found a sweet nickname you both liked and started using it out of admiration for its romantic connotation. But it seems like it's caused quite a stir with your friend, who feels it's cultural appropriation. However, your friend's reaction seems pretty intense, and her demand for an apology is over the top, especially since she's not directly involved in your relationship and she's not part of the culture. If I were you, I would drop her, especially since she had a thing for him. She probably still does, which would explain a lot. Anyway, it's commendable that you're trying to clear the air and sort things out without making it a big deal for your boyfriend. That's very considerate of you, but you should ask him what he thinks. Just hang in there. These things have a way of working themselves out with time. That's it for today. Thanks for tuning in. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next Reddit story. Take care.